Hello and welcome back to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. It was the international break, 2 weeks of, no FPL really, and I actually enjoyed it. Switching off, keeping the Twitter account closed, and just enjoying England win 3 matches. Not a lot of teams did that over the international break. But we're back for the final stretch, game week 30. And, it's coming to the tail end of the season. Everyone and every team is getting a little bit nitty gritty. We've got a double game week that's been announced. It's all kicking off as we head towards the end of the season. And I'm never the only one on this show. I need to bring in the experts to let them give you their advice. And today I've got Joe and Sam on. Boys, how are we doing?
Hey, how's it going, Craig? Doing well?
Doing well, buzzing that England won 3 games out of 3. Not the best performances, but I'll take it. But yeah, kind of looking forward to this final stretch as well for the FPL. Sam, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Usually when I come on, there's always technical issues, either from my side or your side. So hopefully none today. Hopefully none today.
Yeah, and I do have to apologize. My internet it was good throughout the whole season, but I think over the last few weeks, it's just kind of started to go a little bit fuzzy. But let's hope that we're all going to be good as we go in and kind of get this show done, and hopefully it's all clear. Boys, the final stretch, we're going to get straight into it. 8 games left in the season, and wow, this is where we are. What a season it's been. But this is it, the final stretch. The games are going to come thick and fast. And now, with the FPL returning, we've also got to consider a double game week. We've got to consider European fixtures. We've got to consider rotation, the international break. Boys, I mean, I thought we're going to get eased into it, but no, it doesn't seem that way.
Not at all. I mean, like especially you mentioned about the European fixtures, where teams are actually in their own final stretch as well. So, especially if you're talking, we'll probably touch this later on. If you look at Man City, they are well ahead in the league. Pretty sure they're going to focus in their cup matches and the Champions League as well. So rotations incoming. I can see that.
Yes, Sam. Any tips for all these FPL managers out there as they approach this? I mean, this is what we call the business end of the season in FPL terms. Some still have free hits to play. Some still have triple captains to play. I'm not sure if anyone still has bench boost, but they could be. Chips are really going to make a difference come the end of the season.
Yeah, and also there will be a lot of people with wildcard to play, including this guy. So there's gonna be chaos. There's gonna be chaos over the next few weeks, and my only advice would be meditate every day and don't make stupid decisions. Don't.
Actually, okay, I don't know why we're going live, but we shouldn't be.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I agree with Sam. Some of this still have the chips, but I think I'm pretty sure quite a few don't have any chips left. For example, myself. So what are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep up with the chips? Are we gonna make?
Pray to God.
Yeah, pray to God. That's one thing. Are we gonna make crazy decisions? We only have so much free transfers left, so it's
you're good with hits anyway. You're good with hits anyway. You're good.
Joe.
It's gonna be a roller coaster ride, definitely.
Well, that's the thing, it is definitely going to be a roller coaster ride. We know that, but as we approach that, we have to factor in a lot of things, and some of those are, injuries, the double game week form, and injuries again. That's great, but we got to consider all these kind of things, boys. All right, international break was there. we've had key players that have played a lot of games. I'm talking about Harry Kane playing the last 2 games. I'm talking about João Cancelo playing all 3 games. I'm talking about Ilkay Gundogan playing all 3 games. How serious is this? Anthony Martial got injured. Marcus Rashford pulled out of the squad. I mean, there's a lot that has gone on during this international break. We cannot forget it. Talk us through it, guys, and how. I mean, I think for City assets alone, I mean, this Gundogan, this Cancelo, Diaz. I mean, the Stones. They've all played a lot of matches. Didn't really get that rest. I mean, what do we do about that?
I mean, okay, I guess now we are jumping straight to City assets, and in my opinion, we need to ditch them as soon as possible. I mean, I think many of us have double or even triple City assets, and like I mentioned, they're pretty far ahead in the league now. If I'm not mistaken, about 14 points. Is that right? Somewhere there.
It's something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. So they, basically it's they have a cushion right there, and they have players that are playing a lot in the international break. Thankfully they didn't get injured, and surprisingly this time I don't think we are that wrecked by the COVID situation as compared to the last one.
But, couple of cases, I think Klitsch for Leeds.
Yeah, Klitsch. I mean, it's not as rampant as the last one, if I recall correctly.
Teams were shutting down 4 months ago, so yeah, there is improvement.
Yeah. So if you ask me, Pep himself mentioned everyone is fit. That's like a nightmare sentence for all of us. Even Nathan Ake, who hasn't been, really back, and he's fit. So what does this mean? He can definitely play in centre back and left back as well. So personally, I'm looking to ditch, because I have 3 before game week 30. So I'm looking to ditch at least 2. Before they're blank. Don't forget, City are having blanks as well. They're having a blank game week 33.
The cup final, right?
So yeah. So basically, I'm only looking to keep maximum one City player.
Okay, one City player. Wow.
That's the max. That's the max I would go by game week 33.
Sam, I'm going to come to you now, and we talked about rotation, the possibility. City, we expect a lot. I mean, I think even when they don't have this, Pep loves a bit of rotation. But what about injuries? I mean, coming in to that stretch, injuries. As you say, Anthony Martial got injured. Marcus Rashford pulled out. There were a few. Patrick Bamford before the international break was a doubt. I think he's going to be fit now. But what about the fitness of these players? Will Pep, be saying, hey, we need to keep them fit for these and not play them, or are the injuries going to come thick and fast? And which assets should we be looking to take out due to injuries or doubts?
You mean for Manchester City?
Anyone?
That's kind of a tough question to answer, because injuries, you can't predict them. Mm-hmm. So it's actually hard to say, this guy might get injured, this guy might get injured. So it's kind of a tough question to answer. So for teams with Europe, I think they will probably rotate anyway, depending on which competition they prioritize. So for example, Manchester City, I'm pretty sure they'll prioritize the Champions League now. They have Dortmund coming up. Yep. So they'll probably play most of the key players then, and then just give them rest in the Premier League. Whereas for teams like Man United, we pretty much are fighting both fronts. We still haven't qualified for the Champions League confirmed, and we're still fighting in the Europa League. So we can't rotate. Even if we rotate, there's just like 2 to 3 person max. Kind of the same thing with Chelsea as well. You can't. I mean, they have got a good squad, but I think the key players will play most of the games anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Sam. I think we have to look at their league position as well. Do they have anything to fight for in the league? I think Spurs. Spurs, they dropped out of Europa League, so you can pretty much be sure that they'll prioritize, of course, the cup final and also the league. Man United, I think they like what Sam says, they have a fight on both fronts. And you have other teams, so if you look at teams that are involved in so many competitions, you have to look at their league position as well. So yeah, totally agree. Like, I think City would definitely try to prioritize. They would prioritize the Champions League, because I think they've never won before. Pep has never won Champions League with City before. And two, it's Aguero's last season, so probably they would try to do it for him. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, and we can't, go on the show and not talk about the double game week that has been announced. Joe off air, both of us were discussing it. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you look at that and it's Spurs, and obviously everyone's going to jump on and bring Harry Kane in, bring possibly Son, who's one of the injuries that we should have mentioned earlier, and kind of bring maybe Bale as well. Bring them into the teams, but we have to bear in mind that straight after the double game week is a blank, and it's a cup final between Spurs and City, League Cup final, should I say? And what do we do about that? Do we rush to bring him? I know maybe some people have free hits to play. It's weird. It's weird because we'd be putting our hands together and happy and looking at this, and especially those who have like triple captains chip to play. But we still got to work around that blank.
Yeah, like we mentioned off air before this show starts, it's a tricky situation, because if you look at game week 33, you have City blank, Spurs blank, and also their opponents, which is Fulham and Southampton blank. So 4 teams are blanking on game week 33, and at the same time, Spurs are having the double game week 32. So on one hand, we have City assets we need to get rid of, because they're going to blank. On the other hand, are we going to load up on Spurs assets, which are going to blank in game week 33 as well? So this is why those who have chips are pretty much at an advantage right now, because especially those. Like the wild card game week 31 is pretty popular pick, and also definitely the free hit on game week 33, and also the triple captain on game week 32, because probably the most obvious candidate, or the most highly captain candidate in game week 32 would be Harry Kane. So how are we going to navigate? You have only that. Especially those without chips, we have only three players that we can bench, except the goalkeeper. So who are they going to be? Like some of us even have Fulham players that will blank on game week 33. So it's definitely a tricky situation, especially those who do not have chips.
And it is. Sam, what are your thoughts on that? How are you planning to navigate through this double game weekend, followed by the blank?
One answer: wildcard.
Yeah, and that's when you're going to use it?
Yeah. I'm going to use it on 31. I'll probably get like the major Spurs players, nothing too big. Probably Kane and Son. That's it. And then 33, off they go. That's it. The thing is, right?
That ruthless.
We aren't talking about like a Man City or a Man United or Leicester. We're talking about Spurs. So you can't trust Spurs. That's the thing. So if you load up too much on them for 1 week, and if they don't deliver, you're gonna look like an idiot because the next week they aren't playing either. So you're stuck with around 20 to 25 million worth of players on your bench. You don't want that. Plus, you'll have Man City. You'll have at least 1 to 2 of them. And because if you don't have your walkout, you'll probably be stuck with a Fulham player. That's up to 5 players you blank in 33. That's not ideal. So I wouldn't go too much on Spurs. I will proceed with caution on Spurs. I've been down this road before. And also because I have Son and Bale in my team currently, so I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's a tricky situation to wildcard on game week 31 because I think most probably those who wildcarding on game week 31, you are looking to probably get rid of City assets. But they are playing Leeds on game week 31. So
that's the thing. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at. There's so many. Yes, we should, load up on Spurs for the double game week, but then, they're blank the next week. So what do I do? I mean, there's so much in terms of planning that needs to go into it. And I think I saw Andy from Let's Talk FPL, and he obviously uses the planner and to navigate his weeks. And just wondering out of curiosity, do you guys do the same thing? And do you plan ahead, or do you approach each game week as it comes?
If you ask me, I do plan ahead, but not too far ahead. I look at least, especially even now without a wild card and without free hit, planning ahead is more important than ever for players like me. But I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm looking at least 3 to 4 weeks at least. I mean, at most, So one interesting point that I note when I look at the fixtures are Leicester's fixtures. They're really turning really sweet. So if you're looking to bin City or Spurs assets, look at Leicester's assets.
Okay, and form. I mean, we can't ignore form. And players, just before the international break, that were hitting a bit of form, but also teams. I mean, I was doing my show yesterday, and it's quite amazing the Chelsea stats the run that they put together since Tuchel's come in. Defensively, I think it's like 2 goals in 20 matches or something like that. And then you've got obviously they're not exactly scoring a lot of goals, but I mean this Chelsea team with the fixtures that they have as well. I mean, surely they're a team that most FPL managers should be looking to get in. And who else apart from Chelsea are the form team? And name us some players.
I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned Chelsea. We have to remember that they are involved in the Champions League as well. So, and Tuchel, he is not afraid to rotate. So that's probably something that we need to take into consideration going forward with Chelsea. Another team, like I mentioned just now, in form, I'm probably looking at Leicester. And possibly West Ham, but West Ham's fixtures are not really enticing, whereas Leicester's, it's really good, and it's only it's only theirs to lose because Maddison and Barnes are coming back, and Iheanacho hits probably the best form in his Leicester career. So
I think his career in general.
I mean, he did pretty well in City when he deputized for Aguero.
Yeah, I think at City he was like the super sub, wasn't he? Like he'd come off the bench, grab a goal, and everyone thought it was going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, he was actually. He did really well in City. It's just when he went to Leicester, I guess he wasn't given that much of a play time as he would hope for. But happy to see him doing well now. But I just hope that he's given more chance. He's a good player.
Okay. Sam, any teams that you looked at the fixtures? They look good. Let's take the ones that are competing in Europe out of the question for a while. All right, because that's obviously a rotation risk, a potential rotation risk. Who was impressing you just before the international break? I mean, West Ham were playing out of their skins, weren't they?
I was gonna say West Ham.
Yeah.
I was gonna say West Ham. Joe said their fixtures were tough. I just looked at it. It isn't as tough. Like Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea. 2 out of those fixtures are actually pretty good, and I think they're gonna give Leicester a run for their money. They actually beat them by convincing margin earlier in the season as well. That was before they had Lingard. Now they have Lingard and Antonio.
I think it was 4-0, isn't it?
Something like 3-0. I think game week 6 or 7, something like that.
Let me just
check.
Oh no, 2-all.
2-all. Wait. I think I got mixed or something. I probably got it mixed. Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
No worries.
But yeah, I think they're gonna give Leicester a run for their money. And then their last 5 is golden. Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. So yeah, I'd probably keep my West Ham assets. And they don't have Europe, so there's gonna be barely any.
Well, that's the big thing. You look at you look at Antonio. I'm just gonna say this. We didn't mention him earlier on, but is it the return of Thomas Souček? Hat-trick during the international break. I mean, look, let's ignore the opponents, but it's Thomas Souček with a hat-trick. Are we seeing, every FPL manager jump on that now and say he's back? Because after Jesse Lingard came, his position kind of changed. You don't really see him bursting into the box anymore like he was doing in the early part of the season.
Yep.
But could this give Moyes some food for thought?
Firstly, the Czech Republic does not have Lingard, so so he's probably playing the position before Lingard comes to West Ham. I didn't watch the match, so I probably can't comment. But definitely, when Lingard comes on to West Ham, he takes a more defensive position, protects the back line more. And Lingard is given the space to just roam around and do what he does best. So I can see that continuing in West Ham for Lingard. So Souček, I would probably say personally I probably wouldn't think that he will be back to his pre-Lingard form and position in the league, if you ask me.
Yeah. And Sam, you share the same views?
I love a good box-to-box midfielder, like a good lanky box-to-box midfielder getting into the opposition and then scoring. But I don't know. It's because they already have like a good enough attack. They don't usually so I don't think Souček will go forward as much. But the key thing is corners. They still have Aaron Cresswell, and he's still 7 foot tall. I'm not sure about the numbers, but he's tall.
Yeah.
So who knows? And he's still got corners, so don't rule him out just yet. But I don't think he scored that much from corners. He doesn't score that much from set pieces.
He is 1.92 meters. My gosh.
He's like the modern day Peter Crouch.
He is tall. Freaking tall.
There's also Dan Burn at Brighton, if you've ever seen him. He's like nearly 7 foot, and he plays wing back, not even centre back. It's crazy. All right, we're going to move on from that. All right, boys, this is where I put you on the spot. I'm going to ask 3 players that we should be targeting till the end of the season.
Till the end of the season?
Yeah. Jesus. 3 players that you think, really need to come on and factor in the double game weeks, the blank game weeks, European competitions. I'm putting you in the spot, boys. I did tell you to prepare. Hey, we're going hard after the international break.
This is tough.
Going hard.
Probably Sam goes first.
All right, one each first.
Okay. The first player I'll go for. I want to keep it a bit interesting. I don't want to say the obvious options. So let me just look around.
Well, I think the obvious options are would be rotation risks, wouldn't they?
I mean, obvious. I mean, I just said West Ham, so I was thinking West Ham assets. I was thinking Lingard. I was thinking Antonio. I was thinking Cresswell.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Someone mentioned in the chat GW30. I totally forgot about him.
Ooh, yeah.
We totally forgot about it.
He did well. Yeah, I mean, but he did well for Portugal. So,
he did really well. Yeah,
I think he has that striker spot. I think he has the striker spot over Firmino now.
Yeah.
You gotta imagine he keeps one of the spots.
Firmino is back, in training. So tough one. But
the thing is, you gotta imagine he keeps one of the spots because before him, they couldn't score. They couldn't finish their own dinner. But before he got injured, he was their savior. And then in the middle, they didn't do anything. And as soon as they come back, he scores. Everything looks bright again. Mm-hmm. So you've got to imagine Klopp keeps him in the 11. Yeah, it makes sense.
So Sam, is Jota your first pick?
I'd say yeah.
Okay, Jota. Over to you, Joe.
I would probably say Lingard. I mean,
Lingard?
I mean, he is his career revival is really quite an inspiring one. In United, I don't know. I don't remember seeing him being this on form and consistent in United. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, never. I think at the start, when he first came through under Van Gaal and Mourinho in the first few seasons, he was good. And then I think personal reasons or something, he just tailed off. And then his confidence just nosedived and he wasn't.
But he never really had the kind of run that he's on right now.
Oh, he never had.
He'd always crucial goals.
Also the difference is the West Ham team finds space much better than the Manchester United side and the Mourinho and the first half under Solskjaer did. That suits Lingard a lot. If you give Lingard space, he's probably as good as anyone else.
Yeah, he's gonna run at you. If you give him space, he's just gonna take you on. So I would say Lingard is probably the one to keep because if West Ham are actually pushing for that European spot, they need him to continue his form. And at the same time, he's trying to keep his England spot alive, and probably he's trying to push for that transfer. But I mean it's sad, if United doesn't want to sell and he ends up being like what he was before the West Ham loan move. That would be probably something sad to see because I still remember us players in FPL, just trolling Lingard, who still has him, why does his price even drop, things like that. But seeing him right now doing what he does, it's something inspiring. It inspires not just. I mean, I'm pretty sure
players that go through a rough patch.
Yeah. I mean, and coming for England, I think he did well in his first game as well.
Yeah, he did.
So
I think he got an assist.
Yeah, he got an assist, I think. Yeah, so I think he's probably someone worth keeping. And I think David Moyes really puts his faith in Lingard and possibly even somewhat building the team around him.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, if you read the newspapers, I think there's rumors that Solskjaer will be offering him a new contract based on the back of his performances for West Ham, which I understand. But it's another thing whether he accepts, because
I think we're going to sell them. Yeah, we need the money.
Yeah, I don't think we need the money as much because he'll be his contract's running out. So I don't think we'll get a lot for him.
15, 20 million should be good enough.
For a guy whose contract's running out, I'm not so sure, but we'll see.
We have 3 players' contracts running out. We have 3 players whose contracts are running out. Bailly, Lingard, Pogba. We'll see what we do in the summer.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a big summer. Okay, Sam, second player.
Second player, I'll probably say a Wolves defender. So Johnny, Cody, whichever one you prefer. The fixtures, the immediate fixtures up to game week 35 are pretty good. Apart from West Ham. Game week 30 is West Ham. That's pretty bad. After that, you have Fulham, Sheffield United, Burnley, West Brom, Brighton. Four of these teams cannot score. 4 of these teams cannot score for a living.
Yeah. That's a really
I think they probably have Patricio back for after West Ham.
No. I think he'll be back for the West Ham game.
That's even better. Yeah, so having Patricio back is huge for them. Although he's been underperforming, he's still better than John Ruddy.
Yeah. That's a really interesting shout. I didn't even bother to look at Will's players, but now that you mentioned it, I mean that there could be something in that. I mean, obviously not from an attacking perspective, but certainly defensively. Sorry.
They need Jimenez back in attack. I don't think he'll come back this season, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're confident that he'll make an appearance, but it could be 10 minutes of a game or something like that. Okay, so a Wolves defender from you, Sam. Joe, who are you going for your second player?
Probably a Leicester attack.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I'm not sure when Maddison's going to be back, but if he's back soon, probably he'll be an interesting shout. If not, Vardy, I would say.
Iheanacho? I mean, we just picked him up.
I mean, I'm not sure how he's going to be fitted into the squad when Barnes and Maddison be back. Probably plays behind Vardy.
Yeah, I don't think Barnes. Well, if you read Rodgers' press conference, I don't think that Barnes is going to be back anytime soon. They're looking towards the tail end of the season for him. But even if he does, I mean, you're not going to drop a guy who's got the kind of goal scorer record that Iheanacho does in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's not going. He looks undroppable at the moment, but Craig, you mentioned till the end of the season, so
Okay. So Leicester attacker for you could be any one of Maddison, Barnes, Iheanacho, Vardy. Sam, back to you for your third and final player to target till the end of the season.
I was gonna say Watkins until I looked at Villa's fixtures. They're bad.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Because I was thinking like Grealish is coming back. Before injury was operating like a top 10 creator in Europe kind of level. So that makes a huge difference. But the problem is the fixtures are really bad, and I don't want to go investing in a team that has bad fixtures. Maybe Everton. Their fixtures are decent. Like most of the teams have bad fixtures. Their fixtures are actually pretty decent. So I'll go with Calvert-Lewin's a boring answer. I'm going to go with Richarlison.
Richarlison. Oh, I like that.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think Mariner would though, but
Marina's going to be fuming. I'm just looking at it. Their fixtures are mixed. Like it's not top tier good. It's not bottom tier bad. Yeah. But they're somewhere in the middle, and they don't have Europe, and they are looking to fight into Europe.
So the thing with Everton, it's a weird one because you know that their team's good enough. They've got some really good assets there, and if they click, they do click, and it's good. And your Calvert-Lewins, your Richarlisons, your Hammers. I mean, I think a lot of it's down to him not being available as well. That they lose that kind of creative aspect of it. Especially for someone if you're relying on service for Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison. But yeah, interesting pick. I like it.
Funny thing, they had three clean sheets in a row before the last 2 games, Chelsea and Burnley. So defense is kind of doing well. To be fair, their defense has always not been bad. It's always been the goalie that's the problem.
Yeah, Pickford.
So, Pickford or Olsen, both are bad.
Okay, Joe, final player before we move on to the captain metric and followed by the questions from the community.
Okay, if you ask me, if you notice my first two picks, one from West Ham and one from Leicester, they have something to play for. My third pick will probably be another player from a team that has something to play for. So I'm probably looking at Chelsea defense.
Okay. I was waiting for someone to say a Chelsea asset.
I mean, if you're looking at their fixtures to the end of the season, it's actually quite good.
I think they've got the best, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, in a defensive point of view, I would think it's probably one of the best. The only team that I see probably they have trouble is probably Man City and maybe Leicester. But other than that, I can see them shutting all the others out with their defense, with the form they have right now. So if you're looking at, before you guys mentioned Alonso, I'll probably rule Alonso out if you want to have a player until the end of the season. It's either Rudiger or Azpilicueta.
Okay. And that's it. That's the three shouts from both Joe and Sam. Players to target till the end of the season.
I think Joe mentioned the three at the top. I mentioned the three in the middle. Something like that.
Yeah. So Sam's gone for Jota, a Wolves defender, and Richarlison. And Joe's gone for Lingard, a Leicester attacker, and Rudiger or Azpilicueta. There we go. We're going over to the captaincy for game week 30, and obviously our main stat man, FPL Mariner, is not with us today, but he has kindly given us his metric for the new for game week 30. Let me just share it with you boys. And there you go. My thing is not on. Let me just get back to it. Technical difficulties. It's been awful today.
I'm a curse, aren't I?
You are, mate. You are. I'm joking. We love you, Sam. Let me just get it up. Or not.
Just be careful. Your WhatsApp messages might pop up.
Yeah, I hope not. So we're going to go to FPL expectations. There we are. Can you see it?
It's pretty small. I think you can.
I think you
can zoom it
a little bit bigger.
I think you can right click it and open up in the image in a new tab. Probably I can share it. Let me see.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, so there we have it. We've got Rafinha. That's at the top of the captain metric for game week 30. Boys, I think a lot of people were thinking that Harry Kane would be a lot higher than what he actually is. But I mean, Rafinha and Bamford, the two Leeds players, yes, they have Sheffield United. It is a Yorkshire derby, but how interesting is that? I mean, I think a lot of people were going to give the captain's armband to Kane, but the stats say otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the metric, I think what swayed Leeds assets, what swayed them to be the top of the metric is their fixture. If you look at their fixture, it's the most green, at 69.32, of all the other teams. So they are playing Sheffield United, and I don't think Sheffield United can recover. To be honest, I don't think they can recover. I don't think they can survive in the league. And who knows? Probably they are already starting to prepare for the championship. So that is why Rafinha and Bamford is at the top. And Rafinha, as we know, he had such a great season so far. So he's involved in almost all of their attack, and we know how attacking Leeds can be as a team. So that is why Rafinha's at the top. I saw a tweet from FPL Banger, which is he made quite an interesting argument on why Rafinha is the top of the captaincy metric. He says, yes, Newcastle is a shit team. That's why you captain Kane. But Sheffield United is the shittier team, so that's why you captain Rafinha. So it sounds simple, but it's actually quite tempting. But that being said, I'm keeping mine on Kane at the moment because I have quite a few differential players that can probably make up for the points, hopefully.
And Sam?
I'm just wondering, I don't know how this metric works, but can somebody confirm, does the very last fixture that the team played, the very last Premier League fixture that the team played, has any effect on the metric? Because the last time Sheffield United played, they got spanked 5-0. Yeah. Does that play a factor?
I would say so. I would say this. I think this FDR, this fixture metric is based on the FDR, and probably the FDR is also updated based on their latest performance. So that's why Sheffield United, they are
that's why it came in top. Yeah, that's why I think that's one of the main reasons. Also because all the Man City players are out because of rotation, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We factored that. Oh, sorry, Mariner has factored in the possible rotation risk after Pep Guardiola's press conference yesterday. This is updated as it can be. Rafinha topping the metric, Bamford second, Mahrez third. I don't think Mahrez went for international duty, did he? And I think that's why he's there.
I don't think so.
Let me just check.
But Lingard comes in fourth, and Kane all the way down at sixth. It's not ideal for those who have brought Kane in for this fixture. But just going to ask you, Joe, are you confident enough to go with Rafinha?
You mean as captain?
As captain, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Kane, but I have Rafinha and Bamford. So, but I can really see why Rafinha is top of the matrix, because basically I think firstly they are rested, and Leeds, they continue to do what they do best, which is attacking teams. And if I'm mistaken, I saw a stat that most of their returns are against teams that are probably at the bottom half, or even the bottom 3 or 4. So that's where they get most of their returns from. So I can see why he's top of the metric. Which actually quite tempting for me as well. But I still have 6 hours to decide, so who knows?
We still got a bit of time on that. And Sam as well, who's your armband currently on, and does the metric change your thoughts on it?
My armband at the moment, how I always come into the show with like 2 or 3 options, and I haven't decided yet. It's kind of the same thing again. My thinking was on, so I have 3 options. Rafinha, Bamford, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
So it's still a 3-way tie. Still looking at the metric, I'm obviously going to favor Rafinha now. But before then, I was kind of favoring Bruno Fernandes. Probably a bit of bias involved, but I don't know. I just never captained a Leeds player before this season, so that kind of plays a part as well. I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to make your life. I'm going to make your life a little bit easier, Sam. I'm going to let Oliver make that pick for you. So.
Okay.
That's always the best answer, I think, given his track record. But let me just get that video up. So the options are Rafinha, Harry Kane.
He didn't go left.
He went right.
Oh,
He's got for Rafinha.
no. Oh no! This is probably one of the very few times that both the metric and Oliver agrees on the same captain, if I'm not mistaken.
And he didn't go left. Got it back there. He
left.
didn't go left.
Oh shit!
That's huge. That's huge.
I mean,
Oh no!
boys, Oliver the Cat has spoken. He's made his choice. He's going with Rafinha. He's going with the metric. Does that make your life any easier, Sam?
No,
It does a bit.
I mean, it does for Sam, but it doesn't for me. Oh man!
Wow, it's really kind of hit Joe now. He's really going to ponder about that for the next 6 hours. You know,
I know.
Remember what I said earlier. Meditate. Remember what I said earlier in the show. Meditate.
I'll probably get my daughter to pick for me, and I can blame her after that.
All right, boys. We're going to go to the questions from the community. This is the part where obviously you tweet in your questions or, we didn't expect this, but it shouldn't be going live, by the way. But it has, and I'm sure there are some questions that'll be at the side. If you haven't already and you're tuning in, please do drop them in the comment section and we'll get to it. We're going to go to the Twitter ones first, guys. And I'm not sure if you boys ever had a chance to look at it since we sent the tweet out last night. But, question from the community. The first one is from Al Chanos. He says, lads, a couple of simple ones and a tough one, if you may. Number one, is it sayonara Man City players? Let's just start with the first one first. I mean, Joe, we heard what your thought is on getting rid of Man City players. You're for it. Sam?
Yep.
Depends on who the Man City player is. If it is, let's say, Ruben Diaz, I wouldn't mind keeping him. If it is a Kevin De Bruyne, I wouldn't mind keeping him. But if it is somebody like, let's say, as John Stones, I will be looking at the fastest ways possible to get him out of the team.
Okay, interesting. Number two, how many Chelsea defenders do we need?
At least one. At least one.
Need at least one. If you say need at least one. And if you're going to say how many would you ideally own, probably two, depending on how your budget and how many Chelsea attackers you want. But then again, there are many Chelsea attackers you'd want. So,
Yep.
Number three, I'm 100k in rank with no chips left. Should I be captaining a differential each week to halve my rank? So to move up the table, to move up the rank, should he be captaining a differential one?
Depending on who the differential is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't blindly captain someone because it's a differential. You look at the stats, you look at the eye tests, and you look at the fixture as well. So, should you be captaining each week? I probably wouldn't recommend that, but at least bring in a few, probably one or two differential players that has the potential to explode. Or having good fixtures, and then whether should you captain that player, it depends on the alternatives. If you have a week where the premiums are there aren't many obvious captains, then it probably I mean it'd probably be safe to captain the differential captain. So like for example, if you say this week, I would go for Rafinha if you have him.
Okay, and that's all from Al Chanos. FPL Rude asks, Watkins, Bale, Cresswell, Target. Pick two to start.
Watkins, Bale, Cresswell, Target.
Yeah.
Are the options. I would say pick two to start. I'm going to go on a limb here. And say I'm going to bench Bale.
Wow.
And from the other two, Watkins, Cresswell, Target, right? Let me just check the fixture again.
Joe, while Sam's checking the fixtures?
I usually recommend to play the attackers over the defenders. So I'll probably do Watkins and Bale. Watkins and Bale.
Watkins and Bale. Sam, Watkins and Target have Fulham, and Bale has Newcastle, and West Ham have. I can't remember who West Ham have.
West Ham have Wolves, I think. West Ham have Wolves, yeah. So I'm gonna say Watkins, and I'm gonna say Cresswell.
Watkins and
the
Cresswell.
thing with Bale is. Wait, can I have the options again? Watkins, Target, Cresswell, Bale, right?
Correct.
Watkins, Target, West Ham.
Target, Cresswell, Bale. Okay, I'm gonna go Watkins and Cresswell. Because Bale, my only problem with Bale is I'm also benching him in my actual team. I'm not sure about his minutes at all, and I don't want him coming in for a 1-pointer when I have Watkins, who's playing alongside Grealish. That's my only worry with him.
Fair enough. So just to repeat, Joe, you're going with Watkins and Bale, and Sam, you're going with Watkins and Cresswell. Okay, nice. Shailesh Laya asks, with the wildcard, free hit, and triple captain left, what's the best chip strategy, irrespective of team composition now?
Okay.
I have so many questions.
Probably, yeah, I know. Probably the hardest question, given that we don't know what her team's like, and et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's in terms of when she has to play each chip. So obviously factor in the double game week that's coming up, factor in the blank that's coming up. And I think there will be one more
possible
double game week, right? Because I think there's another fixture that needs rescheduling. Is it Aston Villa and Everton?
No, I mean it's not just that. I think it seems when they allow the fans to come back, they might do some rescheduling of the
that's right. That's right.
Well. So I mean, just on top of my head, if you look at what is available, I mean, what are the available chips, and when you look at the fixtures, I would probably say you walk hard on 31. And then you play your triple captain on 32, and then you keep the free hit for potential double game week.
Okay.
Or even play the free hit.
I was going to say the other way. Yeah, free hit and triple captain the other way around, maybe.
I mean,
free hit for the blank and then triple captain for the later game week, double game week.
I mean, if you want, you can play walkout 31, triple captain 32, free hit 33, use all of them at once, and then just forget about the final 5.
You can do that, but I'm probably inclined to keep the free hit since you already play the wild card, and if you play the wild card in 31, because you should factor in the blank game week 33 when you plan your wild card as well. And another interesting thing is if there is no game week, if there is no double game week after that, you can always play the free hit on game week 38 just for fun. Like what I did last season. It was. So
okay, all right, Shailesh, I hope that answers your question. FPL_addicted says Alonso or Rudiger with Aspie bench. Okay, it's 2 questions. Sorry, Alonso or Rudiger with Aspie.
Rudiger.
Okay, Rudiger. And bench 1, KDB, Salah, Lingard.
Ooh.
Salah.
Lingard. I can't bear benching such a heavy asset, and I think Salah has a good. I mean, I know many people don't trust in historical stats, but just to mention, Salah has good track record against Arsenal. Who knows?
The thing is, right? Yeah, Salah has a good record against Arsenal. The problem is, I feel like I don't trust Salah as much as I trust De Bruyne and Lingard. I think that's a key factor here. Yeah, that's a key factor.
Okay, our very own FPL Mariner asks us, heart, head, troll, all guests including Craig. So basically, he's asking you for captains. So trust your heart, trust your head, and a troll captain. So 3 different options.
Yeah, I think Mariner.
I think
got
Joe
this.
did that already.
Yeah,
Joe
I mean,
did this already, right?
I think Mariner got this idea from my tweet.
He did,
I basically said my head says Kane, my heart says Rafinha, and Alonso is my troll pick.
So mine would be the same. Head says Kane, heart says Rafinha. And my troll pick will be a little bit different because my troll pick would be Timo Werner.
Oh, that's a really interesting one. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him.
Tuchel said he's going to start. Tuchel said he's keeping the faith and he will be starting. So I think that's a troll right there, to be fair. And Sam?
I would say head says Rafinha, heart says Bruno Fernandes, and troll's a hard one because I have a few in mind. I'm gonna say Ollie Watkins.
Oh, interesting.
He's hit the crossbar enough. Enough, and he has Grealish back.
I will say he has Grealish back. That would be my.
That's a huge thing. With Aston Villa, Grealish back, regardless of fixture, is huge for them. That's what I'm leaning on. I was gonna say Harry Maguire, but I don't want two players on the same team. So yeah.
Okay. FPL Swing, our very own FPL Swing, says what to do with our Man City assets with the Champions League coming up. We did touch on this earlier on in the show. Yeah, we have. So, Joe's in the ditch camp, and Sam is like, oh well, you can keep a couple.
Depending on who. I'm in that camp.
Yeah, so do watch back Swing before this goes out and see what the boys have said earlier on. Milk asks, do I use the bench boost in game week 30? Again, I think it's very team depending. We'd have to see your team to get a bench. Nope. Just do I use bench boost in game week 30?
I think generally speaking, if you look at popular teams popular FPL teams, most of them have pretty good fixtures, and if your team has 15 almost or nil starters, I would go for it. I think this has been mentioned by Mariner before double game week 26, where he actually proposed, why not play the bench boost on game week 30, so which has, I think, has quite a lot of merit to it as well. So generally speaking, if your team are all nailed to start and they have decent, most of the popular teams have decent fixtures this week. So yeah, I would go for bench boost.
Okay. Obviously, it depends on the team, though, right, to a certain extent. But we'll move on. Roshan asks, is a -8 to bring in Bruno, Aspie, and Bamford for Bale, Veltman, and Watkins worth it? Now, I have to go with Joe with this, sorry. I mean, he is the hit man. He is the man that takes all the hits. But is it worth a -8 to bring in Bruno, Aspie, and Bamford for Bale, Veltman, and Watkins?
Okay, I think firstly you need to look at the players that you're selling. Veltman is playing against United. Bale, although he's playing Newcastle, whether he starts, question about his minutes, especially the statement he made before the international break, that he's going to go back to Real Madrid. Basically saying Spurs is just like a stepping stone for him to regain his form and fitness
experience.
Yeah, more work experience, so to speak, in his CV. Will that piss Mourinho off? I don't know. Maybe. But I would say Mourinho knows Bale enough that I would say Mourinho knows Bale's purpose of joining Spurs on loan anyway. It's probably never going to look like a permanent thing. But I would say probably Bale will still feature on and off like how he did for the season so far. So then you look at Watkins. Watkins with Grealish back. Do you really want to sell him? I don't know. But if you look at the players that he's bringing in, Bruno, Aspie, and Bamford. Bamford playing against Sheffield United, has potential to explode. Bruno, I think we probably don't need to say much about him. And Aspie, I would say it's probably worth it in the long run if you plan to keep Bruno, Aspie, and Bamford at least 4 to 5 game weeks. I would say, yeah.
Okay. Sam, anything to add to that? Would you do that? Would you make that move?
Yeah, man for man, right? Looking at like who he's bringing in. Bill out for Bruno, that's a good move. Development out for SP, that's a good move. The only move I have a question mark over is Bamford from Watkins. But the thing is, Bamford is playing Sheffield United, so I would do that move. But I'm just worried about Bamford's fixtures afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only concern with this.
Whether it's just like a move just for 1 week.
I wouldn't mind bringing him in. I would be mindful of what I do with him afterwards. That's my only thing, because I don't like his fixtures afterwards.
Okay. The next question on our Twitter page is from Slemo. Alonso for Stones or Cancelo? 1 week punt.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. It depends on who you have on your bench, because you might end up both not playing.
This is the thing. There's a really good chance both might not play.
Yeah, I mean, like if you bring Cancelo out for Alonso, meaning you keep Stones, who knows? Both Alonso and Stones might not play.
Yeah.
So, but judging from the minutes so far, I would. What tough one. I mean, if you're talking about one,
I think. At the moment, I think Laporte is the Champions League centre back, right? I think Stones is playing. Yeah, Stones is playing. I think it's Premier League and Laporte playing Champions League at the moment.
Interesting.
Am I right? Let me just check.
Can Cancelo play Champions League as well?
Yeah, he's playing both. I mean, Stones has played in both as well. So, and he also played all 3 England games.
Exactly, I was just going to say he played 2 games during the international break as well, though, I think.
And he came on and.
2 or 3, actually. I think he might have played all 3.
He played 3 games, but the first game he only played 45 minutes.
Yeah, correct. So he's played a lot over the break. He hasn't really had a rest.
Laporte has the 2 weeks rest.
Yeah.
I would probably say Alonso for Cancelo.
Okay. Alonso for Cancelo.
Just factoring the fact that would you rather have a 5.2 to 5.3 million defender or 6 million defender on the bench because he didn't play? I'll probably just say Cancelo.
Okay.
Also because Stones is the one who actually has returned before in terms of attacking returns. Cancelo has expected returns. Stones has returns.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Okay, we're going to move to the comment section on the stream right now. A lot of people saying hi. Hi, Joe from Brazil. Is Zer from Brazil?
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's a friend. And first question is from Vincent. Joe,
I think first question we have is from Mohammed Osama.
Oh, sorry. Further up. Yeah, you're right. Mohammed Osama. Hello all. What shall you choose if you have one free transfer? Bale to Bruno or Dunk to Alonso?
Can you bench Dunk? That's the big question. If you can bench Dunk and play a half-decent player, I would do that and then do the first move.
Save. Oh, and do the first move. All right.
Yeah, because Dunk, at least he's going to play. That's the thing.
Yeah,
at least he's going to play. He might concede 2. He might concede 2 or whatever, but he has threats from set pieces. We are bad at defending set pieces. And he's going to play 2 things which Bale doesn't have.
Yeah, he might concede 2 and score 1. So.
He did that last season at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one.
Scored.
If you use your free transfer to do Dunk to Alonso, you might have both Bale and Alonso not playing. Mm-hmm. So I would probably lean on the first one because it's probably a longer term move.
Okay. Move on, and we'll go to the next question, which is from Vincent. Joe, you legend, are you captaining Alonso?
No.
No chance at this week,
No
Vincent.
way.
Craig.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Oh yeah, the comments aren't displaying on the bottom of the screen, I think. Like the comments we're answering.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that up.
Yeah.
Vincent says, I have no chips left. Is it wrong to bring in Alonso for target this week? Game week 31 looks terrible. FDR or in red.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not wrong. I would say it's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Sam. I think I know what to say.
It's not wrong, but whether it is right, I don't know. Depending on what your other players are, I guess. Because
I mean,
the move looks tempting on paper. The move itself looks tempting on paper.
I mean, if as a fellow Alonso owner since game week 25, he has always brings so much pain to me, game week in and out. So I would say, it's not wrong, but you are inviting a lot of pain. I would prefer to bring in Azpilicueta, to be honest, than Alonso. If you want to bring in, if you must bring in a Chelsea
defender. Yeah.
Is Thiago Silva back? I haven't actually checked.
Yes.
Okay, that rules Christensen out.
I'm not so sure. I think Thiago Silva will bench still.
The thing is, Christensen has been really good.
Yeah.
But it's Thiago Silva. So I think Tuchel's might actually bring him back. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see for that.
All right.
Yeah, I'd love for Christensen to start, but yeah, we'll see.
Cafe FPL says, I have Bale to sell and I have two options. Son without hits, Bruno and Alonso for Bale and Diaz. I have to sell Diaz to find Bruno. The only issue here is I have a bench of Target or Lingard to play Alonso. I have to bench Target or Lingard to play Alonso.
I go for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one. Son without hits.
Okay.
Son without hits.
Nice and easy then. Sorry, and then he follows on to say Bruno and Alonso for -4.
Oh, I think that's for the first. Just to clear up for the first question, right? I'll still go Son without hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Son without hits. Okay, we'll leave that. Oscar says, should I play triple Spurs attack or bring in Havertz for Bale? Havertz, that's an interesting choice.
Havertz for Bale. Havertz
Oh.
for Bale.
You do that?
Havertz for Bale. I'll do that.
Wow.
I'll do that.
Wow, okay.
I'm more inclined to keep the free transfer.
Yeah. And just see how Bale's minutes gets managed.
I mean, you have to consider Havertz's minutes might be limited as well.
I think he played all three as well, didn't he?
I'll just check. Give me 1 minute. I'll check.
I'm sure he played at least 2. Not sure about the third.
Didn't keep track of his minutes.
I'm not sure whether he played against the last game for Germany.
North Macedonia.
Mm-hmm. The one they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tricky situation.
He started all 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky situation because both Bale and Havertz might have their minutes managed, and but at least with going for Bale, you have a free transfer. Bank. Which if you're talking about a 1 week punt, then yes, go ahead. But if you need that free transfer, especially if you don't have any chips left, I probably wouldn't do that.
Okay.
As you can tell by now, I'm probably sick of Bale from 29. I'm still angry at Bale from 29, as you can tell.
Vincent says, Watkins, Bale, Cresswell, target with 2. I swear he's already said this.
I think we've answered this before.
Yeah.
I think we've answered that before. I think we just added Auriel Martinez in goal. I don't think we had that.
Okay.
The final bit, he didn't put the person.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Just my dog's going a little bit mental. Joe, do you mean Kelly? I'm not sure what it means by that, but
no idea.
No idea.
Is it?
Iheanacho.
Kelechi?
Yeah.
Chelsea have conceded 2 goals. OG Rudiger and Minamino. That's very impressive. Very impressive on the 2 goal. So what? He's been there since before Christmas.
No, he's been after Luton, so early to mid January. He's been there since.
That's very impressive. Mustak says, "Do I start Oba and bench Gundogan? I'm worried about Gundogan playing 270 minutes during the international break, and Pep might bench him." I think there was something that was revealed in the press conference, Joe. If you want to elaborate on that, which suggests that the stuff might be right.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before the show, Pep actually said. Firstly, he said everyone is fit, and then he said, knowing, along the lines of modern football, where players can't play a match every 3 days for 11 months straight. So, this might suggest a full-on Pep roulette.
Probably, a lot of his players featured heavily during the break, didn't they? And that's the worrying thing. But then you're going to consider that. Even if he was to rotate 90% of his team, does he have players for each position? Without Gundogan, does he? I'm just trying to think.
He has 20.
Yeah, he does.
No, he has a whole squad of players. He has a whole list of players to choose from.
If they were to bench the likes of David Silva, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne,
is no longer there.
Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, and Phil Foden. There's not a lot. Kevin De Bruyne played 2 matches, I think, in that international break, so he might probably start. Gundogan probably will get a rest. Then you look at Fernandinho and Rodri, maybe.
You have Mahrez, you have Ferran Torres, Jesus.
Yeah, I was thinking about Jesus.
Even Aguero, he can play Aguero as well. So
Aguero's right. Yeah. Okay, so he's got options.
Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne didn't start the last game. Yeah. So he will probably start.
Yeah, if you look at City fixtures, they have the Champions League first leg, just only probably 3 days after that on Wednesday. So that's a huge game for them.
Massive.
I think we
know how much they want to win the Champions League as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Dortmund, and it's Haaland, and it's Sancho. That's probably
Well, it's like Gundogan going back to his old club, Sancho coming back to his old club, Haaland's next club,
Haaland,
and
maybe Haaland's next club.
Yeah.
If Haaland joins Man City, I'm choosing fencing. I'm done with football. Fencing, here I come.
Bungle joins us this morning. Morning, Bungle. Chelsea defender for a free transfer is an absolute no-brainer this week, right? Think I'm going Aspi. Haven't seen him about in many teams.
I guess the thing with Azpilicueta is the fact that he's expensive and he's playing more of a centre-back role rather than a wing-back. I think that's why many people haven't bought him.
I'm not really sure whether, he's not in many teams because his price just rose this morning. So I can see him being in many more teams probably by the deadline.
The thing is, he's closer to 6 million.
Yeah.
So depending on how, he's closer to 6 million. So I'm kind of tempted to go more down the Rudiger road because he's 4.7.
Yep.
Even Christensen's full print of it. That's why I kind of want to go down. That's why I kind of want him to start more because he's also another cheap option.
Like if he mentioned about Azpilicueta. I don't think it's a wrong move.
It's not a wrong move. Yeah, I was talking about why we haven't seen him in many teams.
Okay, so bring in Chelsea defender. We guys for it?
Yep.
No brainer.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try zoom through the next few questions. Zago asks, do you think Lingardinho is playing that well because he is a kind of small side player without the pressure of United? Interesting that.
I think the fresh start helped him a lot as well. Also because the online abuse from United fans wasn't good. That's another thing to consider.
Yeah, I
think he got abuse from everyone, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we tend to forget, that players are actually humans as well, and just reading sentences online can really affect the player, and social media, we know how bad things can be on social media. So yeah, which why I mentioned in the earlier of the show, like him being what he does now is inspiring. So probably without the pressure of the social media and people trashing him and things like that, he has the confidence right now. You can see the way he plays now is
he's smiling again. I haven't seen him smile in ages.
Yeah, I mean he's happy. He's enjoying playing now. So without pressure, I wouldn't say without pressure, but without a different kind of pressure,
Mentally, he's actually enjoying football again. That's a key thing for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Raekwon Elliott says, what do you guys think is the probability of Mount starting? If not starting, would Chelsea triple defensive be best, or bring Mount in from game week 31?
I feel like Mount, he will probably start like 8 to 9 games out of 10. I feel like he'll start a lot of the games. In terms of Chelsea attackers, I think he's the most nailed, anyways, for me. So probably if you don't want Chelsea triple defense, why not Mount?
Yep, Joe.
Yeah, same. But to be honest, I probably won't recommend Chelsea triple defense because firstly, yes, their record is great. They have the underlying stats to back that record, but there are fairly some rotation going on in the defense. You can get probably if you want a triple defense, probably your best bet will be Mendy, Aspi, and Rudiger. Other than that, I probably double defense is probably the maximum I would recommend.
Okay. Virgil van Dijk, should I bench Bruce with Forster, Gundogan, Diaz, and Veltman on the bench?
Ooh.
It could either go really well or it could go really badly. Just looking at that bench. Because Gundogan and Diaz will, depending on minutes, it could go either way. That's a hard bit.
I probably wouldn't, to be honest. Veltman, yes, he should play. Foster, I can see him play. It's just between Gundo and Diaz. You wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't want to bench boost with a player that probably won't play. So, I personally, I probably wouldn't. Looking at the bench.
Okay. Devendra Raj asks, would you get Salah for Bale in game week 30 or wait for game week 31?
Oh, let's see.
Game week 30, Liverpool facing Arsenal. Game week 31, who are they facing?
Villa. I'll probably wait. I'll probably wait.
He does have a follow-up further down, which says Bale, Gundogan, or Watkins, which two to start?
Gundogan and Watkins.
Gundogan, whose minutes could be heavily affected.
Check the first guy. Check the first guy in the question. There's a reason why I said Gundogan.
Personally, I would probably go for Bale and Gundogan. And Watkins first sub. Most probably Watkins are going to come in anyway.
James C asked, Martinez, Shaw, Dallas, Alonso, Lingard, Rafinha, Salah, Son, DCL, Bamford, Kane, Pope, Diaz, Cresswell, Gundogan. Would you bench boost this team or save bench boost? Worry Gundogan minutes. Still have my wild card. Any better week to plan bench boost?
Number one, thank you for saying your entire squad. It makes our job a lot easier.
Yeah, looking at this, yeah, probably Sam, you go ahead first.
I was just thinking, right? I'm just looking at the options other than Gundogan. You have Diaz, who'll probably start. Like, I can bet I'm 80 to 90% sure Diaz is going to start. Cresswell, he's going to start. He has I wouldn't say relatively easy fixture, but a team who can't score that much, Wolves. And then you have Pope against Southampton. Again, another team who have struggled to score. And I think even if Gundogan doesn't play, that's 3 out of 4 who has a good chance of returning.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be against the bench boost. I wouldn't mind playing it this week. And here's another thing. Would there be like another week where we can play the bench boost? I'm not too sure. I haven't looked that far ahead. So what happens if we get to like game week 38 and you still haven't used the bench boost? That's another thing we have to consider. Because free hit, you kind of have an idea where you can play. Then you can just play on 38 worst case scenario. Triple captain, you can a small double game might pop up and you can just slot it there. Wildcard, you already know when you're gonna play, I think. So bench boost, if you can, I'll just play this week. Yeah. With that bench, I'll probably just play this week.
Joe?
Yep, I would as well, but if you still have your free transfer, probably it's worth bringing Gundo out just to get rid of the risk.
All right. Bungle says he can't be swayed, not even by Oliver. He doesn't have the minerals to captain Rafinha.
I don't know how you can captain Rafinha over Kane. Not on Kane at all.
That is true.
Yeah.
Sean asked, who should I start out of Antonio, Watkins, Gundogan, and Diaz?
You can only start one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oof,
yeah,
that's tough.
Oh, tough one. Why does he put himself in such a situation?
Why so many good players? Why do you buy so many good players? There are a lot of bad players. Just buy them. Sell 3 of them. Buy bad players and start the other one.
I would probably say Antonio.
Do you have a 4-sided coin? Flip it.
So Antonio, nice. For you, Joe, Sam?
Yep.
I'm just thinking, right? I'm just looking at it. Gundogan, let's rule them out because I'm not confident of his minutes. So you have Antonio, Watkins, Diaz. I've been bigging Antonio up. I've been bigging Watkins up so much this stream, but
no, you haven't. No,
I've said Watkins. No, I said take him out once. I said start him like 2 to 3 times already. There's a difference. So you know what I'm just gonna say?
Go on.
I'm gonna say Antonio.
Yeah. Antonio. So both going with Antonio for this. CJ says, would you double up on Wolves defense? Game week 1 to 34. We did speak about it. Sam did highlight it earlier on. Would you double up though?
I think they're better. I feel like I don't have the bravery to double up on double Wolves defense. Not me.
Yeah, not for me as well, because if you look at the other options, probably there are better options to go for than double up on Wolves. You have Chelsea. Why not one Wolves, one Chelsea?
Thing is, Chelsea and Wolves are also around the similar price. So if you want to double,
they have the stats as well.
Brian Grady, hi guys, Open World FPL here on Twitter. I believe he's from Cleveland, Ohio in US. How you doing, Brian? Thanks for joining us on the stream. Would you take a chance starting Saka over Lingard? I have a feeling the Arsenal-Liverpool match might have some goals incoming for both sides. Boys, would you start Saka over Lingard?
Just checking the fixture. Probably not. But if you feel like it, go ahead. I don't know. I probably won't. I'll just say I won't. It's a boring answer, but I won't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing their Europa League. Although it's a later fixture, but they are also playing. Their next match is the Europa League, so most probably they have one eye there as well. Personally, I wouldn't, just because West Ham has more at stake in the league than Arsenal.
I feel like I'm just looking at it from this way, right? West Ham currently better than Arsenal, and I'll probably say Liverpool have better defense than Wolves. Albeit it's been a little shaky recently, but Liverpool still have a better defense than Wolves.
Yep.
Just looking at that way.
Yep.
Outside Lingard.
Fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Hadi Ryan asks, thinking of selling Stones this game week. Any good options to replace him? Give me one each, boys.
Depending on who he has, but off the top of my head, probably Chelsea defender. Defender.
Yeah.
Go with the Chelsea defender, Hadi. Let's see. Thiago Silva is back. Thinking of captaining Rafinha for this game week. What are your thoughts on this captaincy decision? Helix, I've got to refer you to the captaincy metric that we did earlier on in another segment. Do give that a watch once this goes up, and then you can get the boys' reactions on both. As of now, both are still torn between doing that, but the metric says go with Rafinha, and so does Oliver the Cat. So I think that's where everyone's leaning to. Oba and Bale for Fernandes and Lingard for -4. Thoughts?
So he wants to take Oba and Bale off of Fernandes and Lingard?
Yep.
Yeah.
And by Fernandes, I think he means Bruno, by the way.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm just checking who's going out, who's going in.
I'm not sure whether the Bale and Lingard move is really for funds or it's just purely to bring in that player. I mean, if it's just purely for the funds to support the move for Fernandes, then yes. If not, probably Alba to Fernandes itself will be sufficient for now without the -4. I don't know.
I don't think he needs a fund because I think Alba and Bruno.
Yeah, it's quite similarly priced.
Quite similar. Yeah, so unless he has zero in the bank or like barely anything in the bank, I don't think he needs money.
Yeah, I mean, if he has zero in the bank, then yes, go ahead, -4.
Also depends on who he has on the bench, I guess. Because if he has like a half decent player on the bench, maybe, just maybe, you can survive without it. But I don't know. I don't know. I might do it.
Okay.
I will continue on my Bale agenda.
Okay. Before we go, boys, are you boys planning to tweet out your team just before the deadline and give everyone a bit of a heads up in terms of which direction you're going in terms of captaincy?
I already put up my team yesterday night, so.
And you're set?
Pretty much, I can share it here if you don't mind.
Yeah, with your captaincy as well.
Yep.
I think that's the main thing for people this week. Captaincy.
So basically, my team is like this: double Chelsea defense. I have both Rafinha and Bamford, Son and Kane. Currently armbands on Kane, but I don't know. Could be going to Rafinha. I'll have 6 hours, 5 hours ish. Another dilemma I'm having right now is whether to bench Gundo for Watkins.
Yeah.
Or not. If Gundo is not even in the squad, then no worries. But I'm just worried that he might get that odd minute or so.
Yeah.
Because they are playing a top 4 clash, so to speak.
Yeah, so, I think someone highlighted that in the comments as well. I think Virgil van Dijk, he said that it is first versus third, so don't forget that.
Yeah, so some things are at stake. Still there are things at stake for Man City. So probably wouldn't rule out Gundo won't feature at all, or probably he will. So my other dilemma is whether should I bench Gundo for Watkins or not, because Watkins is definitely a sure starter, and with Grealish back, he might get more chances.
Okay. Will you be tweeting out your team, your confirmed team before the deadline, Joe?
I've actually tweeted it out. So unless
your final team, if there were changes to be made.
I mean, if there were changes to be made, I will definitely tweet it out as a corrective tweet, so to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Sam, are you set with your team? Will you be tweeting it out?
From captaincy. Tweeting it out, if I remember it, I usually do tweet it out. If I don't, if I forget to take a screenshot, I usually don't. So
that's fine.
It really depends. But in terms of teams, I think most of it is set. I just need to figure out who I want to captain, because the bench is set, everything is set. So captain and vice captain is the only thing I need to set. Apart from that, I think I'm good. Do you want me to share my team or?
You can quickly, yeah.
Okay, let me just do that quickly. Done. I think you can. Okay, so everything is pretty settled, to be honest. You know why I'm? Here's the thing. First bench. You know, I've been saying this the entire stream. Here's the thing, right? Check my front seven. I don't think I would bench anyone. I would bench anyone for Bale.
Yeah.
So everything is set apart from captaincy and vice captaincy. So as I was saying, Fernandes, Rafinha, Bamford, those three would be my picks. Dunk will become a Chelsea defender, either Rudiger or Alonso. I'm thinking Alonso. I'm thinking just Rudiger. Just play it safe. Why not? So apart from that, everything is pretty set. Bench order is set. No chips. That's it. So only thing that will change between now and 6 hours time is Dunk becoming Alonso and probably the captaincy. That's it.
Okay. Perfect stuff, guys. Thank you so much for sparing some of your time on a Saturday and joining the stream. Obviously, we didn't expect it to be live. It was meant to be pre-recorded, but due to some technical difficulties, it ended up being live. So I'm going to figure out what happened there. Yeah, I'm going to figure out what happened there.
I mean, to be fair, I personally prefer live, so you can see live interactions with the viewers.
Yeah, I just thought it would be a lot of questions to get a good response, but it was okay. We had quite a few people watching on the side and the comments dropping in. So thank you so much for your time, and good luck for game week 30.
You too.
Good luck to everyone.
Yep, and do follow the boys on their Twitter. It's at JoeFPL, and for Sam, it's at Samuel_DB_021. There we go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As we said, it was meant to be pre-recorded. It ended up being a live stream. So thank you for everyone who did tune in and drop your questions in. We hope you got the answers that you needed. I'm sure the boys will be available between now and the deadline. If you have any last-minute questions in terms of team selection, players to bring in, captaincy, it's all there. Do watch this video as well. Your questions may have already been answered. I hope you have a good game week 30. Welcome back to the FPL as we go on the final stretch towards the end of the season. It's game week 30. May the FPL gods be with you. Thank you.